Hi, my name is Rosalie Mosner, and I did my cultural diffusion project on Rastafari. I chose Rastafari because I thought doing a culture would be easy to track back, and I love reggae music. I am also very interested in spiritual connections that the Rastafari had. Before researching my project, I knew that the Rastafari culture came from Jamaica, that they invented reggae music, and they smoked a lot of weed. The Rastafari movement started in 1935, led by Marcus Garvey. Haile Selassie was looked upon as the Black Messiah of the Rasta movement. The first branch was created in 1935, bringing hope and freedom to black men. Stephen Davis and Peter Simmons said that the culture was about smoking the herb known as weed in the 1960s. To practice Rastafari, people usually met in any place and came together to discuss issues and sing music known as Ninya Bingi. These were called reasoning sessions. Most time, marijuana, which was called wisdom weed or the holy herb, was smoked for heightening spiritual states. They started using marijuana as their reaction to the way black people had been treated. Jamaica's flat geography made it easy for the culture to spread through Jamaica. It became more popular when it diffused to the United States in the 1960s. It spread through the initial region and it spread very quickly. Throughout the migration, Rastafari spread to the Caribbean region, cities in the United States, and cities in the United Kingdom. Everyone wanted to release their stress and get in touch with their spiritual side. Relocation diffusion is when an object that carries culture moves from one place to another. This doesn't mean that it grew constantly, but it grew quickly. The immigrants coming into America from Jamaica were mostly all Rasta. They wanted to share their culture with everyone and make it more popular. In the 1960s, people started listening to reggae music and started smoking weed in America. This made it possible for the culture to diffuse so quickly. Everyone went to reggae festivals and became more free. Natural diffusion, relocation, and migration diffusion were used because the culture relocated to the United States through the migration of Jamaicans. Bob Marley was a member of the Rastafari movement, which was a development of reggae. He started to take the music out of Jamaica and into the international music scene. Bob Marley and many other reggae musicians spread their music through their lyrics. Today, there are many Rasta communities all over the United States, mainly on the East and West Coast. In the Bay Area, there are many Rasta communities, especially in Berkeley, San Francisco, and Oakland. These are mainly young and older adults. When Rastafari came to America, it changed. Not a lot, but a little. The people here lost the spiritual side to Rastafari. They felt like it was mostly about smoking weed and listening to reggae music. In the Caribbean region, Rastafari was more of a culture, a way of living, and a lifestyle. Rastafari became popular in the United States because it was an all-black culture that they felt they shouldn't discriminate against. But today, Rastafari is just for everyone, even white people. They like the idea of smoking and listening to reggae music. Garvey's idea of black nationalism was so successful since people wanted to be more free. In the United States, people commercialized and mainstreamed Rastafari. There are still many Rasta living in the United States that practice Rastafari as a spiritual lifestyle. It has changed the United States because they didn't understand the spiritual value behind the culture. They cared about having a good time and making money. They didn't need to get rid of any stress since they weren't being discriminated against. Rastafari made the people in the United States value African American people more. Their culture was so popular, and it still is today, that it changed American lifestyle. They became less racist, especially today where there's much less public racism. People feel bad of the way they've treated black people, so they try to accept everything they do in order to make up for the past. Rastafarianism is a way of life, a spiritual approach to life, both in terms of theological searching and interpretations of social realities. What is really unique about it is the fact that the most important moral of all true Rasta is the love for Jah Rastafari and all mankind. That is the Rastafari message. Love, peace, and unity, and justice everywhere and for everyone. This message appeals to more people every single day, realizing that everyone as a human is equal. Another important point is that this movement already influenced the people's point of view on issues such as discrimination against black people all over the world. That kind of impact, especially in such a short period of time, is truly amazing. The Rastafari movement started in a small third world island with many barriers to overcome, like the different political issues. To be a Rasta, you have to be born again. That means that you have to stop believing in everything that you believed before without knowing the reason, and find the true answer through reasoning and deep searching. One quote I have is, "It's a journey to realize that we are all one in the eyes of Jah Rastafari, and that we should love and respect each other regardless to race." This was said by Kevin Zagar, who was a true Rasta.